Hi friends, once again welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to deal with the topic constitution, laws and dissents. Especially it's helpful for the 8th grade students, I hope. Usually students get the doubts that why should we study constitution? Now let me start with a small example. Most of the students like to play football, basketball, volleyball or cricket. If someone violates the rules of games, abruptly umpire or referee will indicate certain actions according to the foul which be committed, so that the games will go smoothly and all can enjoy the play equally. Just imagine games without referees or rules and regulations. And I don't want to say, you know very well what will happen. And other best examples are traffic, lockdown. So, rules are necessary to guide everyone. A rule is an established principle, a standard, or a guide for action. Rules are essential for efficient and proper governance of a country. These rules and principles are laid down in the Constitution. So, now I hope you got the idea of why should we study the Constitution. Here comes the question in our mind that what is Constitution and its importance? A Constitution is an important document laying down the fundamental principles of a country. Our India is also governed by these principles. In short, I would like to say, Constitution is the fundamental law of the country. The Indian Constitution came into effect on 26 January 1950. Now, let me make you to know the importance of Constitution. It has more importance in a democratic country because it brings out the ideas of how a country should be governed. When we look at the preamble to the Constitution of India, we come to know the ideas of sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. Those lays more important on justice, equality, liberty and fraternity. Our India is a democratic country. We choose our leaders, but later power can be misused. Best example, in our school, students choose a class leader for them. Later, if the class leader misuses the power and start to act like a boss, just imagine what the condition of the class and other students. So, in order to avoid such problems in our society, the Constitution provides certain safeguards against the misuse of the power, so that leaders may not do any injustice to the people. In other words, we could say Constitution protects us against misuse of power by our political leaders. Also, Constitution protects us in the form of fundamental rights. It saves us from the cruelty by any form of government or the arbitrary use of power to minority from majority. Another importance of Constitution is to demarcate the functions, which means to make division among the different organs of the government. Why they make such divisions? Because to avoid the democracy to dictatorship. Now let's get the idea of law. What is law? Law is a body of rules and principles governing the affairs of a community and enforced by a political authority. Laws are important for the smooth running of society as well as for establishing peace and order in the state. Let me make you to understand with a small example. Wearing helmet is safe while we drive. If we don't obey, we must pay penalty. This we do not because of paying penalty, but for the safety of ourselves as well as the society. But there are social and religious customs like child marriage, female foeticide or infanticide, the sati system and the practice of dowry. These evil practices will make hinder for development of country. Such deep-rooted evils cannot be removed all at once, but continuous efforts and more stringent laws can help to reform society. Example, I could say that Dowry Prohibition Act of 1961. Now let's assimilate the idea of dissent. Rules are made for the well-being of the people, but it can go opposite when the welfare return only limited people. Right here comes the importance of dissent. Dissent is disagreement in opinion. Let me explain with two examples of the salt satyagraha and anti-liquor movement. We know the salt law imposed by the British to establish their monopoly on manufacture and sale of salt. No individual was allowed to make salt. Gandhiji protested against the tax by making salt. Another example is the women of Andhra Pradesh organized a liquor movement. A group of courageous women came forward and decided to protest against the sale of wine shop. Finally, the government ought to ban the wine shop, though they get profit. So by looking these two examples, we come to know the idea that laws alone cannot stop the social evils. Moreover, social awareness also needed to change the mindset of people. Now let me conclude this topic by saying the idea of rule of law. Rule of law implies that no one is above the law. This not only regulates the power of the government but also emphasizes that everyone is equal before the law. Thus, we can say that democracy and rule of law complement each other. So dear friends, I hope you got a little bit idea about constitution, law and dissent. If you like this presentation, please like, share, mention your valuable comments and don't forget to subscribe for upcoming videos. Thank you and study well.